First contact and confrontation. Captain Morgan Chen stood at the Central Command Station of Earth Defense Station Alpha, his normally steady hands trembling slightly as he reviewed the incoming data. The anomalies had first appeared 3 days ago. Strange gravitational distortions at the edge of the solar system that defied conventional explanation. "Dr. Rivera, please tell me you have something," he called across the bustling command center. Sophia Rivera, Earth Coalition's lead xenophysicist, looked up from her holographic display. Her dark eyes were wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. "It's definitely artificial, Captain. The gravitational signatures show precise modulation. No natural phenomenon would create patterns like these." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had spent centuries debating whether intelligent alien life existed, and now they were about to find out. "Put us at defense condition 2, ordered Chen. "And contact the Coalition Council. They need to know we have visitors." Within hours, the mysterious objects resolved into clearer form on their sensors. 27 vessels of varying sizes, arranged in a formation that even the most optimistic analyst couldn't interpret as anything but military. Their design was unlike anything humans had imagined. Asymmetrical crystalline structures that seemed to bend light around them, making them difficult to track even with the Coalition's advanced sensor network. "They're decelerating," announced Lieutenant Cato from the tactical station. "ETA to Earth orbit approximately 6 hours at current velocity." Chen nodded grimly. "Start warming up the defense grid. I want the adaptive shield at full capacity before they arrive." The adaptive shield represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, the global defensive system that learned and evolved with each attack it endured. Developed after the devastating resource wars of the 22nd century, the shield had never been tested against anything but Earth's own weapons. Today would change that. As the alien vessels entered Earth orbit, they maintained perfect formation, showing a level of coordination that impressed even the hardened military personnel watching them. For 18 tense hours, neither side initiated contact. Earth Coalition forces worldwide stood at high alert, while civilian populations were quietly moved to secure shelters beneath major cities. The silence broke with a transmission that automatically overrode every communication system on the planet. "People of Earth," came a voice that somehow sounded both mechanical and organic simultaneously. "I am Grand Commander Telveris of the Stellar Kingdom. Your world has been identified as a potential threat to galactic stability due to your development of adaptive defense technologies. Deactivate your planetary shield system immediately and prepare for inspection. Resistance will result in necessary corrective measures." In the Coalition Council's emergency session, representatives from Earth's unified nations debated their response. Admiral Helena Ortiz, commander of Earth's defensive forces, stood firm. "The adaptive shield stays active," she insisted. "It's our only advantage if their intentions prove hostile, which, given that ultimatum, seems likely." Council President Ibrahim nodded in agreement. "Prepare a response. We'll offer diplomatic dialogue but refuse their demand to disarm." When Earth's reply was transmitted, the response came not in words but in action. The largest vessel in the alien formation moved into position directly above the North Atlantic, and energy readings from it spiked dramatically. "Energy buildup detected," shouted Lieutenant Cato. "They're charging weapons." Captain Chen's voice remained steady as he gave the order. "All stations, brace for impact. Shield control, prepare adaptive response protocols." The alien weapon fired, a concentrated beam of bluish-white energy that struck the invisible shield protecting Earth. Where it hit, the atmosphere seemed to ripple and distort as the shield absorbed and processed the attack. Warning alarms blared throughout the command center as shield capacity readings fluctuated wildly. "Shield holding at 83% capacity," reported Dr. Rivera, her fingers flying across her control panel. "The adaptive algorithms are analyzing the energy signature. Fascinating. It appears to be some form of quantum destabilization beam designed to disrupt molecular bonds." Can the shield counter it? Demanded Chen. Rivera nodded, a small smile playing at her lips. It's already adapting. The shield is reconfiguring its energy matrix to resist that specific attack pattern. On the main viewing screen, they watched as the alien vessel adjusted its position and fired again. This time, the impact against the shield created a brilliant aurora-like display of colors, but the shield readings barely flickered. Incredible! Exclaimed Rivera. Shield efficiency against that weapon has increased to 97%. It's learning at an exponential rate. Aboard the Stellar Kingdom's command vessel, Grand Commander Telveris observed the unsuccessful attack with growing concern. His crystalline exoskeleton clicked softly as he turned to his chief weapons officer. "Explain," he demanded simply. The weapons officer, a being of similar crystalline composition but smaller stature, responded with evident confusion. "Unknown, Grand Commander. Their shield technology appears to adapt to our weapons in real time. This contradicts all our intelligence about their technological development level." Telveris's appendages twitched in what might have been irritation. "Prepare the resonance cannons. If their shield adapts to individual attacks, we shall overwhelm it with simultaneous multiple attack vectors." Back on Earth, the defense stations detected the new energy buildup across the alien fleet. "They're repositioning," warned Cato. "Multiple weapons charging on all vessels." Chen exchanged a glance with Rivera. "This is going to be the real test." The Stellar Kingdom unleashed a coordinated barrage, 17 different weapon types firing simultaneously from various vessels. The shield lit up like a global aurora as it processed each attack, its adaptive algorithms working at unprecedented speeds. In the command center, warnings blared as shield capacity dropped precipitously. "Shield at 64% and falling," called Rivera, her confident expression faltering. "The adaptive system is struggling to process so many different attack patterns simultaneously." "Divert auxiliary power to the primary nodes," ordered Chen. "Give it time to adapt." For terrifying minutes, humanity watched as their last line of defense strained under the alien assault. In coastal cities, civilians in shelters felt the ground shake as shield generators pushed beyond their designed capacity. But gradually, the efficiency readings began to stabilize, then improve. "Shield adapting. Capacity stabilizing at 58%, announced Rivera, relief evident in her voice. "It's working, Captain. The shield is learning each weapon's signature and developing countermeasures." The alien attack continued for another 20 minutes before abruptly ceasing. The Stellar Kingdom vessels regrouped, maintaining orbit but no longer firing. "They're reassessing," said Chen, allowing himself a small moment of relief. "But they'll be back with something bigger." This was just their opening move. In the brief respite, Earth's scientists analyzed the data collected during the attack. What they discovered both terrified and excited them. The alien weapons operated on principles that human science had only theorized about, yet the adaptive shield had successfully countered them through pure evolutionary algorithms. 6 hours later, the Stellar Kingdom made its next move. The alien vessels arranged themselves in a precise geometric pattern around the planet, and energy began flowing between them in visible streams. "They're linking their ships together," observed Rivera, studying the sensor readings, "creating some kind of unified energy field." "What's the purpose?" asked Chen. "Unknown, but the energy readings are off the charts. Whatever they're preparing, it's orders of magnitude more powerful than their previous attack." Grand Commander Telveris addressed his war council, his voice betraying no emotion despite the unexpected setback. "The humans possess technology that should be beyond their capabilities. The Stellar Kingdom has not encountered such resistance since the Andromeda conflict 3 centuries ago. Perhaps we should request reinforcements from the homeworld," suggested his second-in-command. "No." Telveris's response was immediate. "I will not admit failure against a primitive species barely a millennium into its technological development. Prepare the Stellar Cascade. Their adaptive shield cannot counter what it cannot comprehend." The Stellar Cascade. The kingdom's most devastating weapon, capable of compressing a star's worth of energy into a controlled quantum cascade that could tear apart the very fabric of reality within its target area. It had only been deployed twice in the kingdom's 10,000-year history, both times resulting in the complete destruction of the targeted planetary system. As Earth's defenders watched the alien fleet's energy readings continue to climb to impossible levels, they knew something unprecedented was coming. But what they couldn't know was whether humanity's greatest defensive achievement would be enough to withstand it. Counterattack and resolution. Dr. Sofia Rivera stared at her readings in disbelief. The energy signature emanating from the connected alien vessels defied all known physics. "Captain, they're creating some kind of space-time distortion," she reported, her voice hushed. "It's like they're folding reality itself." Captain Chen's face remained impassive, but his knuckles whitened as he gripped the edge of the command console. "Projected impact on the shield." "Unknown," Rivera admitted. "The shield hasn't encountered anything remotely like this. Its adaptive algorithms need data to work with, and we have none." The Coalition Council, watching the developments from their secure bunker beneath Geneva, made an unprecedented decision. Council President Ibrahim addressed the emergency session with grim determination. "Activate Project Prometheus," he announced. The room erupted in shocked murmurs. Project Prometheus was humanity's most closely guarded secret, a theoretical offensive system designed to work in conjunction with the adaptive shield, but never before activated. Back at Defense Station Alpha, Chen received the coded authorization. Without hesitation, he unlocked the secure terminal and entered his authentication sequence. "Initiating Project Prometheus protocols. Dr. Rivera, I need you to synchronize the shield's adaptive matrix with the Prometheus array." Rivera worked frantically, linking the two systems together. Synchronization complete. Prometheus is online and awaiting calibration data. At that moment, the Stellar Kingdom unleashed their ultimate weapon. The interconnected fleet glowed with blinding intensity before discharging a cascading wave of energy unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. Where it struck the shield, reality itself seemed to warp and distort. Alarms blared throughout the command center as shield capacity plummeted catastrophically. "Shield failing," shouted Rivera. "Cascade effect disrupting the adaptive algorithms. They can't keep up with the rate of change." But even as the shield struggled against the overwhelming attack, Project Prometheus quietly did its work. Originally conceived as an offensive weapon, the system instead analyzed the incoming stellar cascade, breaking down its quantum structure and replicating its effects through the shield's global network. "Prometheus has the signature," announced Rivera suddenly, her expression changing from despair to cautious hope. "Initiating countermeasure synthesis." The effect was immediate and stunning. As the shield continued absorbing the stellar cascade attack, it began to change, not just adapting to resist the attack, but actively incorporating elements of the alien weapon into its own structure. The shield's energy signature transformed, becoming a hybrid of human and stellar kingdom technology. "What's happening?" demanded Chen, watching in awe as the shield's efficiency ratings began to climb despite the continuing attack. "It's not just adapting anymore," Rivera explained, her voice filled with wonder. "Prometheus is enabling the shield to assimilate the alien technology. We're turning their weapon against them." Aboard the Stellar Kingdom command vessel, Telveris received increasingly alarming reports. "Grand Commander, something is wrong," his science officer reported urgently. "The human shield isn't collapsing. It's absorbing the cascade and evolving." "Impossible," declared Telveris. "No technology can withstand the stellar cascade. Increase power to maximum." The alien fleet channeled even more energy into their attack, pushing their systems beyond safety parameters. For a moment, it seemed to work. Earth's shield visibly strained under the increased assault, flickering dangerously over several regions. But then something unexpected happened. At points around the globe where shield generators were located, beams of energy began to project upward, not defensive barriers, but concentrated attacks mirroring the same quantum structure as the stellar cascade itself. "Prometheus has completed assimilation," announced Rivera, her voice barely containing her excitement. "The shield isn't just defending anymore, it's counterattacking with their own weapon technology." The counterattack caught the stellar kingdom completely unprepared. Their vessels, already strained from channeling the enormous energies of the cascade, had no defenses against their own weapon signature. Two smaller ships were immediately disabled, their crystalline structures fracturing under the assault. Grand Commander Telverus watched in disbelief as his perfect battle formation began to disintegrate. "Terminate the cascade. Defensive measures immediately." But it was too late. The interconnected energy field that had allowed the fleet to generate the stellar cascade now worked against them, transmitting the counterattack through their own network. One by one, the alien vessels lost power or suffered catastrophic systems failures. Within minutes, the mighty Stellar Kingdom fleet, representatives of a civilization that had dominated their region of the galaxy for 10 millennia, were effectively neutralized by a species they had dismissed as primitive. On Earth, celebrations were tempered by caution. The shield had prevailed, but at significant cost. Nearly 40% of the global generator network was damaged or offline from the strain of the battle. "We've won this encounter," Chen told the Coalition Council during their emergency briefing. "But we've also revealed our capabilities to a vastly more advanced civilization. They'll be back, and they'll be prepared." Council President Ibrahim nodded gravely. "Then we must use this opportunity wisely. Open a communication channel to their command vessel." When Grand Commander Telverus received the human transmission, he expected an ultimatum or demands for surrender. Instead, he was surprised by the measured tone of the human leader. "Grand Commander Telverus, I am President Ibrahim of the Earth Coalition. Your attack on our world has been repelled, but we have no desire for prolonged conflict. We invite you to engage in diplomatic dialogue as equals, to establish understanding between our civilizations." Telverus considered his options carefully. The Stellar Kingdom's military doctrine dictated that any defeat should be answered with overwhelming force. To return with a fleet 10 times larger and reduce this troublesome planet to atoms. But there was something unprecedented about these humans and their adaptive technology. "Your offer is unexpected," he finally responded. "The Stellar Kingdom has ruled this sector for 10,000 years. No species has successfully resisted a stellar cascade before. Perhaps that suggests we have much to learn from each other," replied Ibrahim. "Our defensive technology clearly surprised you. I imagine your civilization has much that would amaze us as well." 48 hours later, in a historic meeting aboard a neutral platform in Earth orbit, representatives of humanity and the Stellar Kingdom began negotiations. Dr. Rivera, included in the diplomatic team for her scientific expertise, found herself face-to-face with the alien scientists who had designed the weapons that had nearly destroyed her world. "Your adaptive technology is remarkable," admitted the Stellar Kingdom's chief scientist, a crystalline being named Stor. "We had theoretical models for such systems, but deemed them impossible to implement practically." "Necessity is a powerful motivator," Rivera replied. "After our resource wars, we needed defenses that could evolve faster than human conflicts. We never imagined they would protect us against interstellar threats." The negotiations continued for weeks, eventually resulting in the first interstellar accord between Earth and the Stellar Kingdom. Humanity would retain its defensive capabilities but agree to certain restrictions on expansion. In return, the Stellar Kingdom would acknowledge Earth as a sovereign power and provide access to certain technologies that would allow humans to address their lingering environmental and resource challenges. As the alien delegation prepared to depart, Grand Commander Telverus requested a private meeting with Captain Chen, who had commanded Earth's defenses during the battle. "You could have destroyed our fleet entirely," Telverus observed, his crystalline form reflecting the light in patterns that seemed to convey curiosity. "Your counterattack had broken through our defenses completely. Yet you stopped." Chen nodded. "Destroying you wouldn't have ended the threat. Your civilization would only have sent a larger fleet next time. We preferred to find another way. A curious strategy, mused Telveris. In 10,000 years of expansion, the stellar kingdom has encountered many species. Some we conquered, others joined our hegemony willingly. None have ever offered peace after winning a military engagement. Perhaps that's why your stellar cascade failed, suggested Chen. You built a weapon that could destroy anything, but never considered what might happen if someone turned it back on you. Humans are very good at taking other people's ideas and improving them. Telveris's crystalline appendages shifted in what might have been amusement. The Galactic Council will find humans very disruptive, I think. Many civilizations will be uncomfortable with your adaptive capabilities. They'll adapt, replied Chen with a smile. We all will. As the stellar kingdom vessels departed Earth orbit, humanity looked to the stars with new perspective. They were not alone in the universe, and they were not helpless. The species that had barely reached its own moon 3 centuries earlier had now earned a place among the interstellar powers. The message spread quickly through the galaxy. The primitive world called Earth possessed technology that had defeated the stellar kingdom's greatest weapon. And more importantly, they had chosen diplomacy over destruction when victory was in their grasp. In the vast political landscape of interstellar civilizations, a new phrase entered diplomatic discourse: handle with care, like Earth. It was both a warning and a mark of respect for the young species that had proven so unexpectedly resilient and unpredictable. And on that small blue planet, humanity continued to adapt and prepare, knowing that their first contact would certainly not be their last.